Hi, I'm Simon from PR in a Box, and today I'm here to talk about our 3 steps to becoming an influencer and how to use the PR in a Box technology to promote your brand, generate press coverage, increase your social media influence, and generally to be able to reach out to more customers and increase your sales. So the first step is really creating your strategy, which is what we call the workbook. So step one of the workbook is called getting to know your brand. And the reason that we start here is because in order to create a great PR campaign, you've got to know what the stories are that are available to you around your brand. So as you can see down the side, here there are various different steps. We recommend that filling in your workbook should probably take you a couple of hours, but once it's done, then you've got this great document that you can use as the cornerstone for your PR campaign, and it will help. You can share it with the team. You can also use it as your sort of base for your whole campaign. So as I say, there's various different sections down the side. Each section, as you click on it, will give you information about how to fill it in, what kind of information is required in that box. If you need to know more, click on the more information button. And then as you can see at the bottom, each section will have an example in here. Now, the important thing about PR in a Box is it's not about templates. You know, we're not going to give you a template to say, hey, you're a restaurant, here is a PR template for a restaurant. This is very much about making it specific to your particular business. In addition to the boxes that we've got to fill in, there's also lots of information here. So, an introduction to PR, what is PR, why do you need PR, how it works, etc., etc., etc. So this really will give you a much better understanding as to how the industry works, what you can do to promote your brand. So once you've filled in section 1, you move on to the developing your campaign section. This is where you really start to get creative. So we're looking at brand endorsements, collaborations, creative ideas. What are you actually going to be talking to the press about? Writing press releases, looking at your social media, etc., etc. Even down to crisis management. There's some really important facts in this and aspects that will make you a really strong creative campaign by the end of it. The final part is the talking to the press. This is where you actually take your campaign and you go out to the press. So once you've built your whole strategy and you've filled in all of the sections, you click on the Create Strategy button and it will export that into a Word document. So what that means is that you can add to it, you can put more imagery in, you can take bits out, you can edit it so that it is specific for your business. You're putting your logos and things at the beginning of the process, so it will be personalized to your company, but if you want to change it, you can still do that later on as well. So the actual talking to the press section is really important. And at PR in a Box, we've created what we call the talking to the press cycle. So the first part is called Create. So this is where you decide what is going to be the actual story that you take to the media. Then you would create a timeline. So essentially the important thing is to make sure that you know who you're talking to and when you're talking to them. So there'd be some publications that work 4 months in advance, such as the monthly glossy publications. Some work a month in advance, a week in advance, daily. So you've got to make sure that any information you're putting out is going out at the right time so that the story hits at the right opportunity. For instance, you don't want to be putting a story out about a Christmas product in March. You don't want to be talking about a Valentine's product in September. It's all got to be at the right time. So the timeline is important to make sure that you have got something going out all through the year, so you're consistently talking to people about your business, but also that when you put it out, you're putting out at the right time. Materials, this is where you actually create the information that you're going to be sending to the media. Do you want to have a press release, making sure you've got images, have you got video content, whatever it might be. The more you can put together to have available, the more chance you'll have of securing some press coverage around your particular story. List, this is where you actually create the the media list, and this is very much about making sure this is specific to your particular industry or the particular idea that you're trying to get press coverage on. When we talk about the various PR in a Box products, one of the services that we offer is we'll help you to build a media list. So don't worry about finding the right contacts and things for the journalists. We can help you with all of that. Next step is contacting the journalists themselves. How are you going to do that? Are you going to email them? Are you going to call them? Are you going to Skype them? Are you going to set up a face-to-face meeting? What's going to be the best way for a journalist or an influencer or a blogger to interact with your particular brand and therefore generate press coverage? The personalized section, I think, is one of the most important things. I think it's a big mistake that brands make is to try and sort of pebble dash journalists with information. Nobody wants to feel like they're getting the same information that everyone else is getting. And also making sure that what you're sending somebody is relevant to the kind of stuff that they write about. There's no point sending a new recipe for your cookbook to a beauty journalist, because it's probably not going to be of interest to them. So research journalists, if you want them to take the time to write about your business, take the time to know about them. What kind of column do they write? What things are they interested in? What do they have coming up in their future articles? All of these things are going to make it easier for you to secure coverage and also to generate a good relationship with journalists. The follow-up is also important, so making sure that when you have got a particular journalist or a blogger or an influencer that's interested in your brand, that they have all of the information that they possibly need. Is there anything else that you can do to help them to make their lives easier? So follow up your contacts with them as well. Then you've got to evaluate your campaign. So what's worked, what hasn't worked, who's interested, who wasn't interested. Was there something that you were putting out there that somebody said that it wasn't of interest to them now, but it might be in the future? You've got to make sure that all of these things are right for each of the people, and that you're building your base of knowledge around journalists and which campaigns work for your particular brand. So that's really the step-by-step process. One of the other important things that we offer at PR in a Box is our support service. And this is really to help you to be handheld by PR professionals throughout the whole of your campaign. As you can see here, there's various different packages, and these really offer various different amounts of support on a month-by-month basis. You get access to webinars. We'll also provide you with contact details for journalists, templates for press releases, for reporting, for invitations. No matter what it is, we can help you with those kinds of things. Also looking at reviewing your strategy documents. Is there something that you might want to add to it? Is there something you want to take away? But all of this is really about helping you to build the best possible campaign that you can, and also to help you to generate as much coverage and influence in your particular area as you can. So that's really all of what I'm going to talk about today. There's various other PR in a Box videos that you can look at and that go into more detail about various different aspects. But if you have any questions, as you can see on the left-hand side here, just click on the Call Me Back button and somebody from the PR in a Box team will call you back. Alternatively, drop us an email. My email address is simon@prinabox.com. Thanks very much for listening, and I hope you have a great day.